Rand Paul, you did read his op-ed piece in Time, but were you saber-rattling for the bankers?
You know, I've seen some of his quotes where he's met with some of the neocons and said stuff like his father said, you know, if we're attacked, we'll defend ourselves, and we're for a defense, but we need to cut defense spending, and we need to cut all foreign aid. And so he has played some politics with the Israel lobbying people so that he can get lined up to run for president. But, I mean, he's the guy that shot down the gun ban, I mean, on so many fronts, and he's an example to a whole new crop of libertarians to take over the Republican Party. So, but no, I mean, I didn't read his whole piece in Time or Newsweek or whatever it was. I did see some excerpts of it. Give us your take on it.
Okay, well, I did read it, and he left himself a little out, like he condemns Russia, but we shouldn't get involved, okay? But you know what? We got to hold their feet to the fire, because the reason why he's popular with the people, not with the bankers, is because he's speaking when he speaks the truth. And he claims that the Russians invaded the Ukraine, which is patently false. They didn't invade the Ukraine. They were already in the Crimea, which was formerly a part of the Ukraine.
Let me stop you. Here's the deal. Everybody's spinning it that Putin's had a big victory. He's not. He's had a defeat. Okay, the West just took 90+% of the country. It's like 93%. And is turning it over to the EU, and they're going to loot the country. And the Russians have always basically had Crimea. You're right. He was part of Russia for hundreds of years. I get all that. And I didn't read his piece in there about that. He knows the public can't even find Ukraine on the map. So he's like, I get that it's not good Russia came in there, but we don't need to do anything. Because he's not going to have him in the presidential run saying he works for the Ruskies or something. They're already saying that about his dad. So, no, I didn't see his statements on that. I know he said we shouldn't be al-Qaeda's Air Force. I know he was against Syria. I mean, look, he's good. So my issue is, I know Rand Paul. I've been interviewing Rand Paul since his dad ran for Congress again in 1996. And they would say, hey, you just had, you know, Ron Paul on, well, you have Rand Paul on. You know, days before the election, because I was in their district. His district used to come up into South Austin. And I was on a big FM, you know, back then, only on one station in 96, that went into his whole district. And so they liked coming on my show. I mean, nobody knew who Ron Paul was hardly then. He'd run for president once as a libertarian, but he was 1/100th probably what he is now. And, you know, I'm proud of the fact that I've been with Ron Paul since day one back in Congress in 1996, and I've been supportive of Rand Paul. I can get the senator on, but I said, look, no thanks. Last time he came on, he called me to come on because it creates such a national firestorm, and I want him to have better stuff in the presidential run. And so, you know, fine, don't come on my show. So I guess you could say I'm playing politics there as well. But I'm not mincing words. You know, I'm kind of the attack dog that'll say it all, and then I make a wedge and open it up for people like the senator to then almost say everything I'm saying.